There's the fill light off. Let's bring it back on. Off and on. Okay. Now you'll also keep rolling there. You'll also see a term here that I want you all to know. And if you see where my finger goes, you'll notice right here on the glasses, there's the reflection of the actual instrument that's lighting this. Turn the fill off, turn it back on. That's the actual reflection of the instrument. But we could also find it in other places as well. Here we see a reflection of an instrument or some sort of lighting source. Down here we see a reflection. Okay? Those little highlights are called specular highlights. It's the actual reflection of the light source itself, not the light that it's creating. If I do this with my hand, you'll see a shadow from the light. But if we look here, we see the actual light source itself, okay? All right, now let's take this and light it a little bit different, using our light sources to do the actual contouring and modeling of the product itself. If, Ray, you can pan away and you can show where the instruments are. First of all, we've taken this Fresnel that was over on stage right, we've moved it over here, and we're now filling the surface of this foam core with light. And again, it's important that you fill the entire surface of the foam core because we want the foam core now to be the light source, not the instrument. Okay? We've got it just above the product, and if you look at the product now, you'll see how that foam core is modeling to the actual product itself. And I'll put my finger in here, and you can see the specular highlights, and it's those highlights that we want contouring to the product, as opposed to before where we just had a little puny highlight. Now we're using the reflection. Okay? Let's lose one of the pieces of foam core, the big piece. And there you see him go away with that big piece. And then if he brings it back in, you'll see how it affects the picture. Okay, what we have now is we're using this as a key light on the product. We're using the stage right Fresnel, or Airy Light, as a fill. And then, Jeff, you could throw in some backlight here. Okay, and then turn it off. All right, so there's just typical lighting on the product. And again, you'll notice that we are flagging with our barn doors, so we minimize the amount of light spilling onto this background over here. If the background stays nice and dark, it allows that background light to do what it's supposed to do and create that nice blue color behind us. Go ahead and turn that back on again. Okay? Now, if we have a lot of light spilling into the background, we would then just be competing for exposure of the background. That's why it's really important to try to get all your lights as controlled as possible to where you want them to go and not spilling everywhere, thus the use of barn doors and flags. Okay, let's now light this product using a specular to create the contour of the product. All right, so what we have now is, if we can get a good shot of this whole thing, we've got an Airy Light right here. This Airy Light, again, is barn doored off, and it's not spilling all over. You can see the studio around us is almost completely dark. This light is hitting and filling the surface of this foam core right here. Okay? We have enough spill coming off of this foam core that we can grab a piece of the spill and now use a smaller piece of foam core to create our fill for the product. So if I step out of the way, and Jerome, if you go ahead and move your foam core, take it out of the shot, put it back in, take it out. Okay, let's just look at the key light now. Notice that we've created a highlight over here. And because this isn't a shiny surface necessarily, but we still know this is specular. You can also see the specular right here on this shiny part of the speaker, which is a dead giveaway if you have a trained photographic eye, if you will, if you're a photographer. You can see how they're lighting things simply by looking for these specular highlights. You can literally see the instruments. Okay? Notice we're not flat lighting this at all. You couldn't consider this flat light because look at how dark it is over here, and it's light over here. If this is flat lit, this entire thing would just be one chunk of light on it, but it's not. Now put the fill back in to give us back that speaker over there, and that gives us just enough fill to make it look like a product, or a classy product, if you will. You compare that to how it looked before. The characteristics of light completely different.